Tell the sheriff I shot him.
Who?
Tell him he's still on the loose.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
It is Halloween season. It is the fall, the best time of the year, bar none, undebatable. We are talking about maybe the best series of horror films of all time with a focus on the first three, Halloween. I'm here with Eric Michaelian, my co-host, the good buddy. Eric, happy Halloween, happy fall. Is the fall the best time of the year or what?
Oh, it's the best time of the year. Going from a hot, sweaty ass summer to like cool fall horror movies, leaves blowing in the wind. You don't get fucking better than the fall in New England. Am I right or am I right?
Hey, you know what? I would correct you if you were wrong, but I can't because you're right. 100%. We're
Welcome
talking
to Halloween season.
Halloween season, New England. Now people can talk about the California girls, as the Beach Boys sang, but here in New England, we got that New England horror feel. You can't make a horror film in California and really make it rock like we can do it here. We got the woods, we got the leaves, we got all kinds of cool looking shit. Is there a better location than New England, would you say there, Eric?
Given its history with like witchcraft persecution and over religiosity and little sects breaking off here and there, I think it's just such a fascinating place.
Yeah.
It's the cradle of American civilization. Fuck Jamestown.
Fuck that. Fuck it hard. In this episode, as we talk about Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3, which gets some hate from idiots, we're not going to say, hey, Eric, did you like it? Because we love these films. So this is a real appreciation of three great films that we're going to discuss. Eric, Halloween 1978, it comes out, it kicks ass. Explain why it hit so hard and what impact it had on horror at that point.
Well, there was a little known man at the time called John Carpenter who made a movie that we actually reviewed, Assault on Precinct 13.
Yes.
He was tasked with making a movie for the budget of $325,000 called The Babysitter Murders. Before this, people had never really thought of setting a movie on Halloween as a horror film. It's so fucking obvious to us now, but at the time it wasn't really done. Maybe
Right.
Halloween wasn't as oversaturated in the culture at the time. But this movie came out swinging. It got $47 million in America, $70 million worldwide. That is an insane return on profit.
Yep.
And it really launched John Carpenter like sort of into the directorial stratosphere. Him and his producing partner, Deborah Hill, who both wrote this film, they were sort of, their careers were launched, and even if John Carpenter and Deborah Hill never made another movie after this, they would still be considered legendary because of this movie. A movie that relies on a very simple premise, like we've heard it before, the escaped mental patient killing people in the town. It's been done, but it's never been done this cleverly, this stylized, this minimalist, and this scarily. This movie, I've seen it a million times. It is still a scary movie.
It is, and you look at the simple premise of the mental patient escaping and going on a killing spree. It's been done. It's been done since. But the difference is John Carpenter has an ability to create something beautiful with normal looking people. It makes it relatable, and yet it feels like it just has this incredible quality to it. I'll use like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Nightmare on Elm Street remake had unbelievably beautiful people. It was unrelatable. You take a walk in Walmart, you take a walk in Target, you're not going to see 50 people that look that beautiful. You may see one. In that movie, everyone's beautiful. In Halloween, you have the girls next door, the ones that you would see, maybe not at Walmart, but yeah, better places. And they live in your neighborhood, so immediately it's relatable. Just feels right. Everything about this film feels right. Michael Myers is born, but I want to say Dr. Loomis is the backbone of this film. What do you think?
I do, and and especially when you consider they only had Donald Pleasance for like 3 or 4 days to film with.
Mm-hmm.
They used him incredibly well. He is a man who took this very small indie horror, but he
Yep.
delivers one of the best performances in horror history. He told John Carpenter outright. He said, "My daughter really liked Assault on Precinct 13's music, so
Mm-hmm.
I figured I had to meet you." He had no stake in this. If you think about the gravity that his words brought to Michael Myers, that whole monologue about I met this blank, pale, emotionless little boy, and he had the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. The gravity that he gives Michael Myers is kind of what lends to being so scary about Michael Myers. This guy knows what's up, and you don't know anything about Michael. He's just, he killed his sister in 1963,
Yep.
and it's really Donald Pleasance's performance that gives Michael that really scary pretense.
It does. And you look at like Dr. Loomis, everyone else is dismissive. Where when he's realizes Myers is out, he's going apeshit. He knows what they're going to experience. To see Donald Pleasance in this film and in the follow up, there is no other Donald Pleasance film that I can think of that made him. Like, he was a name, he was in other films. But when I think Donald Pleasance, there's only one series I think of, the Halloween series. He is Dr. Loomis, and I think had they got someone else for the role, the film may not have done nearly as well.
He definitely has a manic energy that lends itself to the sort of calm, methodical nature of Michael Myers. It's like such a great contrast of just like how over the top Loomis is being, pulling guns at the drop of a hat and being like, I warned everybody. He's the perfect foil for Michael Myers, because who's just sort of like silent and stalking and almost like mechanical in some ways. Really great dichotomy between these two. You want to offset Michael Myers' stillness with the manic energy of Donald Pleasance.
You do, and you said something that I'm on board with, that I've said for a long time, is that the walk of Myers is intimidating. The size of Myers is intimidating because he is of average size. The fact he can lift somebody up with one hand, being an average looking guy, is way scarier than Rob Zombie's cane sized monster, because you expect him to do it, right? You see a guy who's got muscles from his asshole to his appetite, you know he's gonna fucking be this super strong. But with this Michael Myers from '78, the fact that he's so strong, you have to assume he's supernatural, even if he's not, to explain away his strength. Do you think they were intending to make him supernatural, or at least have the viewer think that with that scene of him lifting the guy up with one hand?
No, you could, as a normal person, theoretically do that. If something in your brain kind of snaps and you're sort of in like adrenaline mode, because I think killing for Michael puts him in an adrenaline mode. He has that crazy strength of just like being really excited and overstimulated and driving what should be just a regular butcher knife, but turns into like a 3-foot sword through this this poor kid. And that brings me to like Nick Castle, who I think is still the best Michael Myers, because
Yep.
his movements are, while deft, like his movements are kind of human. And I think
Yep.
it's much more scary when he's just a guy in a mask,
Yep. I
and
agree.
he's not a supernatural killer. He's not just like a mechanical robot. One scene that always sticks out in my mind is it's just a random shot of Michael Myers coming down the stairs to like get Laurie again. The way that it's shot and the way that Nick Castle moves is like crazy scary for some reason. I think it's just
Yeah.
because he's normal. It's a normal crazy person coming after you.
Yeah.
There's like, you can believe that would happen to you, and you can believe that that's what it would look like. Now,
Right.
when you get into the sequels and Miles is more stiff and he's more like a machine, like I kind of tune out. But like
Yeah.
this is like peak Michael Myers right here.
And you have the backstory of him being in the asylum and him not being right. So he's not a guy to be negotiated with. He's on a mission. He kills without any emotion, and it makes it scary, and especially a vulnerable babysitter. Having the idea, whoever it came from, of having a babysitter killer movie is a good idea. Around that time, you had like he knows you're in the house and don't answer the phone and all these other things where the babysitters were targets and it was popular. And so this takes it to the next level. And casting Jamie Lee Curtis in the film was a very good idea, just not because of her lineage, but because of her look and her talent. She has that look of, I don't want to say plain Jane because she's not. She's a beautiful lady, but she looks a lot more plain than the other characters in this film, and that puts her into the role of the everyday girl. Very easy to
Yeah.
get behind.
She is kind of how I imagine my mom is at as a teenager, you know?
Yep.
Lovely lady, you know, but a little quiet, a little more reserved, you know, like it's just kind of, I've always associated Jamie Lee Curtis like with my mother as a teenager, you know, she just has that vibe.
The class. The
Yeah, it's just a poise, you know. There's almost like a maternal responsibility that she has, like responsible beyond her years, mature beyond her years.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She has that quality about her.
I agree, and it makes for the good battle because her thing is protect the kids, even though she's a kid. You know, she's only
Yes.
like 16 or 17 in the story, so
Mhm.
this is a baby too, taking on this beast lunatic that's out for blood. You brought up the actor that played Myers and the cool things he did. The sitting up when you think he's dead, unbelievably beautiful. The breaking into the closet and breaking everything and going apeshit, absolutely beautiful. And the head tilt, wonderful.
Mm.
This guy knocked it out of the fucking park. It was the good balance between the terrified Jamie Lee Curtis and the going apeshit Michael Myers. And there was no other movie like this, with the exception of maybe Black Christmas. Do you think Black Christmas was the influence on this movie, considering you have Christmas and Halloween?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's too many similarities with this movie and Black Christmas to say that John Carpenter hadn't seen it. But I think with Carpenter, there's a few things in this movie that elevate this beyond sort of Black Christmas. The sexual thrill that the killer gets in Black Christmas is a little more obvious.
Yes.
In Halloween, it's all innuendo. Every time Michael Myers becomes aroused, he has to penetrate something or kill something. For instance, he becomes aroused by his sister. He stabs her. He's aroused watching Annie do the laundry in her underwear, so he kills the dog. The dog goes from being really stiff to limp.
Yep.
If you catch the visual metaphor there.
Yeah, of course.
Bob's feet go from being rigid to flaccid there, you know, and
Yep.
every time he kills one of the girls, it's really sexual. Like they're moaning and they're breathing heavy, and it's for him, this is sex. And it took a few viewings to really understand that this was sort of a sexual thrill kill.
Do you think that Dr. Loomis should have taught sex ed at the asylum?
No, no, I don't want him talking about sex. He goes, I didn't hear Michael Myers say a word for 7 years. So now I'm like, oh, I got to lock this fucker up. He's a psychopath. He's so histrionic. I hate to say this, but I think like a limited run series or maybe a one prequel movie of Dr. Loomis's evolution with Michael Myers might be interesting to watch.
I agree.
I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying it might be interesting. I would watch that. I like that would be a really fascinating to see Dr. Loomis's progression from kind young doctor who's trying to reach this young boy to over the course of 15 years realizing how futile it is and like what that does to him and why he goes crazy.
Yeah, because he even said, like you referred to, he spent so many years trying to reach him, and then the rest of the time trying to keep him locked up because he's evil. So, yeah, what led him to believe that he was unfixable would be interesting, but you'd need the right people behind it because we've seen remakes, reimaginations, prequels, sequels. They've failed to deliver. You got to get the right people, the right look, and I'm not convinced we would see it there, Eric.
I agree. In the wrong hands, it comes out terribly. I really liked the new trilogy from David Gordon Green. I really loved those movies. But I think that for now, just like let Halloween be
Yeah.
be what it is and don't try to like alter the history or whatever. But if they were gonna do something, I might watch that.
Well, I mean, that's the new trilogy. It's like Meatloaf says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and that's how I feel. And I like Meatloaf too. Meatloaf, what a beautiful singer he was. So if you combine, Meatloaf with Halloween, maybe that was a missed opportunity. Don't you think Meatloaf's music would have fit in with Halloween?
No. And I
No.
think that I'm glad both of them are very similar and that hopefully they're both dead.
Oh my dear Lord. I Well, Meatloaf, rest in peace, Meatloaf. But I believe any song from Bat Out of Hell would have fit in this, especially when
I
Michael Myers is driving around.
No, come on. He
You
he
don't.
can listen to he can listen to Mr. Sandman on repeat, okay?
Oh God.
Like that'll be his theme song. That or Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, I like Don't Fear the Reaper. That's a good song.
That's a great song. In the hands of someone like John Carpenter,
Hmm.
who I mean, I hope he doesn't want anything to do with this franchise anymore. He understands character, he understands the art, the cinema art of horror,
Yeah, he
and
does.
that's like what you have to respect him for. And
Yes.
can we talk about the real MVP of these three movies? Can we
Sure.
talk about Dean Cundy? He
Who's?
is the director of photography for
Oh, yes, yes,
these
yes.
three Halloween films. The reason why these movies work is because everybody is on top of their game.
I
Dean
agree.
Cundy, for those that don't know, director photographer, the director says what the shots are and then their job is to execute them.
Hmm.
The work that Dean Cundy does with this, with the camera, with lighting, with
Oh my God.
scenery is just like this. It's a perfect horror movie. If you want to make movies and you want to get into like how to craft suspense and scares,
Yeah.
Dean Cundy in this Halloween trilogy is like filmmaking 101.
Hmm.
Copy Dean Cundy, okay? Michael Bay, no. Dean Cundy, yes. He also shot The Thing. He shot Jurassic Park. He shot I mean you go through his whole fucking like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, Apollo 13. Just like
Yeah.
he is like one of the best craftsmen in the business. Dean Cundy is who everybody should aspire to be in American cinematography.
His work is amazing, and like you said, he is just a standout. The look and lighting of Halloween 1 through 3 is amazing, and the thing too, like I always say, you can tell it's a Carpenter movie because of the look and the feel. The Carpenter movie is unmistakable, and so big props on the shooting, big props on the soundtrack, big props across the board on a simple idea done the best possible way in the world. One thing I want to touch upon, Michael Myers, he could have been a clown. Like they were toying with the idea of giving him a clown mask. And I think that would have sucked balls. What do you think?
I think part of the reason the whole thing is so iconic is because that mask is like a blank. It really encapsulates what Donald Pleasance says in the movie. You know, he's blank, pale, emotionless face,
Yep.
blackest eyes, devil's eyes. Like he's describing that mask exactly. The idea was that it's so blank that you project your own fears onto it. With something like this, the simpler you go, always the best. College professors are teaching classes on minimalism
Yep.
and a lot of it is based on this movie where the mask is part of the whole lore.
And people do overcomplicate shit, and they where simple and direct and focused does make a difference. And you're right, the pale face, emotionless face, is just iconic. Now we get into Myers seeking out Laurie Strode and showing up at the house ready to kick ass and take names. Dr. Loomis is on the hunt, and we get some very cool stuff here. Like this is a very well written but a very simple movie here. We got the asylum guy, we got the babysitter, we got a plan to kill. What makes it stand out at the end? There's so many films like this one, and we've gone over some of the reasons why. Do you think it's just a combination of everything, right? With Jamie Lee Curtis being cast, the Michael Myers doing the sit up and all the cool things, the score by Carpenter, Is it just because it's just a perfect horror film? That's why people can't compete. That's why there isn't anything like it.
A lot of it has to do with John Carpenter's approach to the story. There's a lot of scenes of just getting to know the characters. There's like long scenes of them walking. There's long scenes of them just talking about boys and talking about their chemistry books and
Yep.
living in the scenes. And we've been through a couple of Carpenter movies already.
Yeah.
And like he knows that sometimes you just have to sit and hang out with a character just to get to know him. Like those walking scenes were added because I guess the movie was too short. And so
Oh.
they just put them in to like extend the runtime. Same thing with before they go babysit, they just drive around town.
Yes.
They added that shot after the whole thing was over to pad out the runtime, but also show that transition from day to night. Because if you really think about it, it doesn't make any sense, right? That they're
Yep.
driving because she lives a block away from the Myers house, and where they're babysitting is 3 blocks away from the Myers house.
Yes.
So why they're driving, it doesn't make any sense. It's just to hang out with the characters, smoke a little pot,
Yep.
talk about Ben Tramer, like have those little conversations that like people have that you need to relate to Annie and Linda and
Yep.
Laurie. I think John Carpenter understands that you got to have those character moments in order for everything else to work.
And I think the sheriff's daughter being the pothead is a true thing, right? Because the sheriff is out there, he's ready to bust some fucking heads and get that reefer, as they called it in the 70s, off the street, not knowing his daughter's toking up behind his back, which happens all the time. Take care of your home first, sheriff, before you start fucking going after people just trying to have a good time. So I did like that weed scene. And I'm not a weed head. I just like weed scenes. You like weed scenes there, Eric?
I do. I love people just sitting back, maybe having a few beers, smoking some weed, relaxing. I like scenes of people just like kind of hanging out and talking. And speaking of which, what do you think of Charles Cypers as Sheriff Brackett?
Love him. Fantastic. He's got that Glenn Campbell look. Now, he doesn't have Glenn Campbell's voice, I don't think. Even if he did, I would hope he would sing different songs than Glenn Campbell sang. What did you think of the sheriff, and how many Glenn Campbell vinyls do you own?
I love him. You could tell he's a good theater actor.
Who, Glenn Campbell?
No, fuck Glenn Campbell. Charles Cypers.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Eric, what'd you think of Glenn Campbell in this movie?
I was just wondering if you're a Rhinestone Cowboy fan.
Oh, did he do Rhinestone Cowboy?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, well then fuck Glenn Campbell. So yeah, no, I love him. He just seems like a befuddled dad. I love that scene when he's like outside the hardware store, which also doesn't make any sense that, he broke into it early enough in the morning to see Laurie in a mask at school, but it's still going on at like 7:00 at night. The alarm is still going.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have that little scene where he's just like, "Aren't you gonna be late? Aren't you gonna be late?" See, he shouts too.
Yeah.
Like I love that shit.
Me too. What do you think about the Michael Myers being called the Boogeyman? That was a popular thing back in the 70s. The Boogeyman's gonna get you. You don't hear that very much anymore.
I think too that was also a novel concept. I've listened to a lot of documentaries on Halloween the past couple days, all the Halloween movies, in fact, and they claim that the Boogeyman was never used as a concept in a movie before.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't be too sure about that. I love it. Again, it's more of that building up, more legend, more myth than man, but he is just a man when it comes down to it. Fantastic writing.
We do get the big showdown. Laurie Strode fighting for her life and saving the kids. The scenes of Myers at the end are so iconic. Like it's hard to look at. Like you said, this Myers is the best Myers. I totally agree. It's hard to like not be on edge watching him sit up. I know the Undertaker and Kane stole it. It's not scary with those guys. With Michael Myers, it's terrifying because you think he's dead and he fucking sits up. We get the iconic ending of Donald Pleasance shooting him off the balcony and him disappearing. Laurie Strode saying,
"Oh, wait, hold on. You say, all right. You say Laurie Strode's line. I'll say Donald Pleasance's line."
Oh God, I'm gonna. Was that Doesn't she say, was that the Boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Oh my dear Lord. What a fucking movie. Start to finish, Eric. Alright, so I guess even though in the beginning I said we wouldn't be doing much critiquing, but here's the thing. Let's throw it out there. Best thing about Halloween, worst thing about Halloween. I know it's gonna be hard to find one, but if you had anything that bothers you about this movie that you say that could have been taken out or made better, what do you think? Best part, worst part?
Best part, god damn it, dude, I can't. The mask, the direction, the cinematography, the acting, even for a movie of this time, a movie of this budget, the acting is on point.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody fills their role so incredibly well. It's hard to imagine it being done any other way.
Yep.
This movie is near perfect. Near perfect. However, it does fall into horror movie tropes that, for better or worse, are always there, and we need them there because most horror movies kind of depend on people being stupid, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You have to write stupid characters in order to be killed.
Yes.
So that's what makes horror work. The ending is there's just a lot of things that don't make any sense. Like Laurie tells the kids to run away. She doesn't follow them. Laurie drops the knife I don't know how many times. She just makes dumb horror movie decisions. But at that point, who gives a fuck? You know, the movie's so good, you kind of don't care that, yeah, she drops the knife once because she thought he's dead. She drops the knife again because she thought he's dead. He gets shot and he gets up again. Falls into horror movie tropes, but like when the movie's this good, you don't care. So Geno.
Yes.
In retrospect, best thing about Halloween, worst thing about Halloween.
Best thing, Dr. Loomis. Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. I could watch just a whole movie of just him just saying one-liners. I love when he comes out when he's bitching about Michael Myers driving away. I love that shit. I love when he's like he had the darkest eyes. He had the devil's eyes. It's wonderful writing, but the delivery, anyone else, I don't think they would have caught the magic. From start to finish, I wanted more Loomis. The guy's wonderful. The worst thing is very difficult because I kind of was on the same idea of why didn't Strode just run too? Why, hey, kids, get away. I'm going to wait and see if this guy shows up. Didn't seem like a great thing. So that would be my complaint too, although Michael Myers has been locked up since he was a kid. He's got a car. I would think go kill your sister, but before you do that, why don't you stop at like Buffalo Wild Wings, take a walk around Walmart, see the sights a little bit. There's a bunch of nice, probably pretty places where you can look at the mountains and get some fresh air before you go on a killing spree. I would have liked to see that. Him stopping at, Golden Corral and getting mad and killing the guy who took the last chicken wing. Beyond that, perfect movie, Eric.
I think one of the rules of Michael Myers that works the best and where most sequels, remakes, or whatever fail is because they try to get to know Michael Myers more, which you shouldn't do. As just like a force of nature running around, killing people. You can ascribe reasons to him, but you never really know. I think he works best as just sort of an absolute character. No backstory, no like, oh, this is probably what he's feeling, yada yada yada. None of that. He's a single-minded killer. I think that works the best.
You'll get some answers in part 6.
He'll never. We're gonna do the Thorn trilogy, aren't we?
Oh my God! What a great idea that Thorn trilogy was.
Next year we'll do the Thorn trilogy.
Okay.
I don't want to see Michael Myers trying to negotiate the early bird discount at the Golden Corral as much as I love Golden Corral.
And wouldn't it be cool though if they added in like a character at the Golden Corral that said, "Anyone ever tell you look like William Shatner?"
What happened to your eyebrows? Yeah.
Yeah. Why so much powder on your face, Mr. Shatner?
Is this a kabuki thing?
That would be wonderful. That'd be a great, at least at the after credits sequence. I think that would be great.
After the credits, way after the credits, like 27 years after the credits.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
So you got John Carpenter. He's now flying high. The producers are like, wiping their asses with $100 bill. They're saying, we want more. We want more. We can't get enough. John Carpenter has to come back as a dust off his typewriter. Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is basically as much of a sequel as any other sequel could be. It's kind of like Rocky 2, where you could put them together and just make one big film. What are your thoughts about Halloween 2? What do you think of the direction? Do you think it's a necessary sequel in this story?
I love watching these movies in tandem. I tend to usually wait for Halloween to watch Halloween. I usually like to start that around 6:30, so by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, it's time for Halloween 2, because Halloween 2 captures a really specific thing, that sort of quiet after the night of Halloween. Like after like 10 o'clock, things just get like eerily quiet again. Like no one's running around. Like, there's no parties going on. Everybody's going home because it's usually on a weekday. There's like a stillness to the night after all the hoopla is over. And I think this movie captures that post-climax part of the evening. I'm trying to explain, just like, you know what I'm talking about? I know kids don't really go trick-or-treating anymore. It used to be like things were fun and cool and almost chaotic, like people coming to the house and like doorbells ringing and people trick-or-treat, all throughout the neighborhood and stuff. God, I miss that.
Yeah, me too.
But after all that ended, there was just sort of a quiet, eerie stillness to Halloween night, which I really love. And I think Halloween 2 captures that so well, because it feels like something huge just happened.
Yep.
But it also feels like something big is coming up.
And you brought up Halloween and the kids, and that's an added scary thing that we really didn't touch upon, is that Halloween is chaotic. It is tons of kids out there. So there's a level of danger for the kids. We've heard the stories of the razor blades and apples, adding a killer out there that we don't know if he discriminates. Does he kill children? So the kids are in danger. Anytime a film decides to put kids in danger, it adds something to it, because it's almost like a taboo thing where they got to be safe no matter what. And in these films, even though they don't press it too much, you kind of feel like if your kid was out trick-or-treating, get the fuck in quick, because anything can happen. And I like that, and I like how this film takes place immediately where the other one ends. And Donald Pleasance has one of the best lines ever. He runs out of the house after he shoots Michael Myers. Michael Myers is gone.
Do you want me to set you up?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll set you up for it. Hey, what's going on out there?
Call the cops. Call the police.
Is this a prank? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is. And then he runs off. Oh my God. It's so awesome. And it's a good line to use if someone that loses someone, because it kind of like brightens the moment, bring some levity to it.
Good, somebody's wake.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. You don't know what death is.
It's perfect. My grandmother died. You don't know what death is. And then run away. Well, that is one of his iconic lines.
I want to say all the Halloween movies, with very few exceptions, have really great openings.
They do.
There's obviously the long tracking shot of, well, several shots of him murdering his sister. You don't know what death is. The opening scene where they're running through the junkyard in part 3, part 4 with the is it the pumpkin one? No, it's just like the farm.
Yeah, the farm thing.
And the fifth one, as much as I hate the fifth one, the carving of the pumpkin is really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even remember The Curse of Michael Myers. I have no idea.
That was with the baby, where she's getting rushed through the underground hospital, isn't it? Where she.
Oh, that's right. Like I said, with very few exceptions.
Number 6 doesn't get enough love. The producer's cut. Watch it, everyone. Best movie ever.
Yeah, producer's cut is much better than the absolute dog shit that is The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 666, The Origin of Michael Myers.
That's the way to go. That's a great movie.
Garbage.
What?
Anyway,
I actually put that with the first two.
I think these two movies complement each other well. And I absolutely love, and I know how hard it is to do this, I love when sequels pick up exactly where the last one left off.
Me too.
I find that to be so So good, because then it's just Michael stalking through the neighborhood again. You notice pretty quickly, because he kills that one girl, that this movie's going to be a lot meaner and a lot more bloody than the last one.
They stepped everything up. And
What did you think about that? Because it seemed like Halloween 2 was trying to copy all the movies that were trying to copy Halloween 1.
It was.
With the extra gore, the more blood, the more brutal killings.
And the more boobies. It decided, hey, we're gonna throw in some titties in this flick. We're gonna get that demographic. The guys that say, I'm not really gonna pay attention until I see titties on a 9,000-inch screen. And
I thought that there was the same amount of breasts in this movie that there were in the first one.
They were bigger. That's my point.
The aspect ratio was larger.
Yeah, you go up a size. And
a more.
This film does once again use Donald Pleasance, runs amok, does a great job. Unfortunately, he's hunting for Michael Myers, and they kill a poor kid who's dressed like Michael Myers.
They kill Ben Tramer, the guy that Laurie had a crush on in the first movie.
Now, Ben Tramer, I think there's something wrong with that guy. He made no noise. He had a very bad mask that didn't really look like Michael Myers' mask too much. He ends up dying in like a car wreck thingy. And the sheriff keeps saying, is that him? Is that him? Dr. Loomis is like, he has no answers, but he's 3 feet shorter and weighs 50 pounds less. I don't think it's him, Dr. Loomis.
To be fair, it was dark and he was on fire.
And Dr. Loomis did wear prescription glasses.
That's true. He didn't get his readers from the local Five and Dime.
This is true. That's probably what it was. He can't see far away things, so he's like, fuck. He's blurry as fuck. Yeah, it's him. What the hell? Why not?
Laurie is taken to the hospital from the last movie, and then Michael Myers somehow hears, while walking down the street, a cowboy holding a ghetto blaster saying, they took Laurie Strode to Haddonfield Hospital, and then Michael Myers goes to Haddonfield Hospital. That's one of those. I heard a story where the guy who directed this, Rick Rosenthal, who directed Birds 2 and Halloween Resurrection, so, fuck off. There was no indication that Michael knew that Laurie was at the hospital, so he just wound up at the hospital for no reason. So John Carpenter would come in and shoot certain scenes to fill in those gaps and to like up the gore and the blood and stuff like that.
And the hospital is a good setting for a horror film because most people are naturally afraid of hospitals because a lot of people check in and they don't check out. And then you got those annoying people that are puking in bags next to you. You ever have that happen, Eric? You're in an emergency room for something and there's someone that's got some stomach bug that didn't have the common sense to stay home that's puking in a bag. I hate that shit. That bothered me.
I've spent a lot of time in hospitals because of like the social work that I've done. I've been in that. I've been in the emergency crisis units where people are screaming and shouting, I'm going to kill everybody in this room.
Oh, wow.
And, you get the sick people over here. I had to go in there a lot during COVID. A lot of clients got COVID. So I've sort of been in hospitals like an inordinate amount for someone that I don't really get sick or injured that much, but I'm always in fucking hospitals for some reason.
Have you ever been to the erectile dysfunction ward? Do they have a ward?
No, they don't have a ward. I'm sorry.
Well,
are you asking me for directions right now, Geno?
No, because if I had that problem, I would try Viagra first, and then that pump thing. Have you seen that pump thing? It's got like a bike pump.
Don't send me any links, but no.
No, in case you ever have a problem, just say, we don't have to talk about it. Just say, Geno, pump. And I'll be very discreet and give you a link.
The context. I can't look these things up myself, Although it is funny that they've gone from calling things the emergency room to the emergency department. So it went from ER to ED, if that makes you feel any better.
They did.
Yes.
Why'd they do the bullshit like that?
Because the emergency room is not just a room. It's a whole ward. So Michael Myers is at this really abandoned hospital where apparently nobody's at. It's dark. Like no one's in the halls.
It is dark for a hospital.
It is very dark. They did not think to put the lights on. But there is one kid that you see, and I never knew what this was because I always saw this movie on USA. Like they never showed what was in the kid's mouth. He's just like holding something to his mouth, and
Oh
you never
yeah,
showed
yeah,
what
yeah.
it was on cable. But the kid chomped on a razor blade, I guess.
Man, that was a big thing in the '80s, man. I don't think it ever happened. I think it was like just a
It never
myth.
happened. This to dispel the rumor now. At that time, only one person had died from poisoned Halloween candy, and that was someone who had done it to their own kids to collect on insurance money.
Wow. Did you know we had a similar thing when I was a kid? They said they canceled trick or treating. This is a true story. And because they said a guy was dressed like Jason and was killing and trying to kill kids and had injured a bunch of them, that went around the entire town. So they canceled Halloween. Now, what really happened was a teenager hanged himself while wearing a hockey mask. That was the whole
Oh,
story. Yeah, so he wasn't any danger to anyone but himself. But it got around because in school, people were talking about, oh my God, yeah, my cousin got stabbed by him. It was all over the fucking place. I'm like, oh my dear Lord, that's crazy. And it turned out to be all bullshit, just like the apples.
don't you kind of miss those days when there was like a local legend that everybody knew about and you couldn't disprove it on the internet, so it just kind of lived on? Those days were so much more interesting to me.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
me
guess
too.
now with like AI and just like people putting absolute horseshit on the internet, you can kind of get away with anything. But I do miss those days when it's like, oh, did you hear what happened at Rockadundy Road? Some kid was murdered at this gazebo or
Oh,
whatever.
the
You know, that
Rockadundy
yeah,
Road. Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Never happened, but just so interesting the way that those myths start and how they spread to like even in small communities.
Yeah, it's great because I know about Rockadundy Road and about the
Mhm.
people that lived in the woods and all this kind of stuff. Crazy fucking bullshit, but people love bullshit, and I'm not immune to it because, as you know, I'm a Bigfoot fan. Not that it's bullshit.
When you pass Rockadundy Road, do you ever go like, ah, I just felt the chill?
You know what? I do occasionally think of the legend of back in the day of Rockadundy Road, and where we would walk it, and we'd walk into the woods and see what we could see. And obviously, I'm still here, so I wasn't killed by the ghost of Rockadundy. But it was I do occasionally get the heebie-jeebies of back in the '90s. It's not there anymore, but back in the day, you know, you want to believe it because believing bullshit is fun. Anyway, so we have
Michael
Michael
Myers at the hospital.
at the hospital, and he walks right past the ER. He looks at the crowd and says, "I'm done," and now he's really mad, and he goes after Laurie Strode, and at the same time, she's got this curly-haired geek that has a hard-on for her. What's up with that guy?
Hey,
I don't
what's
like
up with
that
that
guy.
guy? You don't like him?
No, I have a
He's
hard time with
great.
with guys with curls. There's something about it. I don't
Yeah,
like
I
it.
know. What is that? You have to. I think you have to really look at yourself. I mean, that's the guy from the last Starfighter,
You know what I think it is? It's the greatest
Jimmy
American
Lance
hero.
Guest.
The greatest American hero ruined curly-haired guys for me because he could have just said I'm an American hero. He said I'm the greatest because of my beautiful curly hair. The minute he said that, even though he didn't, I thought it ruined my life for curly-haired guys. So
I would
there you go.
strongly suggest you move on. I think you're holding on to a lot of grief, a lot of anger, a lot of rage.
Mm.
It's not going to be long before you start putting on a Captain Kirk mask and going around thrill killing, Gino.
I might put on a curly-haired wig and do it. That
No one would be able to identify me.
Nobody. So he's in the hospital. He's after Laurie Strode. Dr. Loomis is back, and we're getting another epic showdown with these three characters. There is a little bit of rinse and repeat here from the first one, but I still think the location is good and the ending is outstanding. And it was an ending that John Carpenter wanted to be an ending. Wasn't that right, Eric?
John Carpenter begrudgingly wrote this movie. He didn't want to. He's like, the whole idea was that Michael Myers is like, he's out there, he's somewhere out there, and he could be in your town. Ah!
Yep.
But the movie made so much fucking money, they had to come back and do another one. This one also made a lot of money. It made like 10 times its budget, so you can't really argue with them. so he couldn't think of a reason why Michael Myers would continue to go after Laurie. Which, I mean, yeah, him seeing Laurie was just like a chance encounter, right? Like like she was not significant to him at all. He just saw her and was aroused by her, and so he had to kill her.
Yes.
But you would just give that up, like if it was inconvenient. But no, we had to add this plot where, spoiler alert, fucking Laurie is Michael Myers' sister.
Yes.
That is the dumbest twist. It has ruined this entire series, literally up until David Gordon Green's 2018 Halloween, where they're just like, fuck that. We don't need it. Every movie since then has been trying to justify this whole goddamn Laurie Michael Myers brother-sister situation. And the only reason it exists is because John Carpenter was really pissed. He couldn't think of a better reason, and he was drunk. And he's like, all right, but they're fucking related.
Yeah, it works.
It doesn't work at all.
I like it.
I hate it.
Donald Pleasance decides he's going to give his life to kill this beast, and he blows them both up in the hospital. Laurie Strode lives. It's the ending of the film, the ending of the series, or so we thought. What did you think? Would you have been okay if this was the ending of the series?
I would have been fine with it. I like this movie. It's not as good as the first one, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who plays Michael Myers is not as good. He's more mechanical. He's more robotic. He's stiffer. He doesn't move as fluidly. And they really take that slow walking killer thing way too far in this movie. Like I said in I Know What You Did Last Summer, it worked in the first Halloween. It doesn't work anywhere else because it just looks stupid. And the killer looks like a fucking idiot if their victim is right there and they don't do anything. It's sort of in line with a lot of, I still put it up there with like one of the best slashers of the 80s.
Yeah,
I put it up with their any of the good Friday the 13th movies. It works for me. I love the sort of, again, little banter between the characters, you know, when they're sitting in the cafeteria and Leo Rossi's just like, oh, you can't bang patients, you got to bang nurses, you know. I love just characters sitting around chit-chatting, smoking weed and stuff. There's also just that little bit too where they're like switching, like they're handing the lighter off to each other and it's like Chekhov's lighter. I love that shit. So I would say this is really good slasher film. It's definitely not great, but it's a very good slasher film. You won't be disappointed if you watch it. I was very comfortable with Michael Myers being completely engulfed in flames and falling dead in the mask, just a prolonged shot of the mask burning. I was like, yep, if it ended right there, I'd be absolutely fine. Geno, what did you think of Halloween 2?
It's good. It's not as good as the first for sure, but it's a nice continuation of the story, and it's a good setting, and it's got a lot of the magic that made the first one so special. And the ending, you can't argue with it. I could do without the male nurse guy. I thought he was useless. I didn't like his character at all. But overall, great movie. I like watching the first and second back to back when I watch them because I find, much like I do with Rocky and Rocky 2, I watch them together because it's just one big movie. Well done. Yeah, kind of indifferent on whether or not it would have been a good finale for the series because I think so many good things came after it. I know you and I will bump heads over that. Good movie. Number 2, I would recommend it too. And of the 1980s slasher films, it's up there. It's definitely one of the better ones. I would agree with that as well. So we have the Michael Myers.
Before we move on,
Yes.
Can you name me one curly-haired person that you do like?
Ooh, that's tough. You know, there is one guy, I suppose, that would be the lead singer of Air Supply. He looks harmless. He looks like a loving person. So whoever that guy is, I think he's probably nice, and he was just cursed with curly hair. Is that a good answer?
What about Albert Brooks? You like Albert Brooks?
Oh, Albert Brooks. Albert Brooks is a man that's better than his hair. He made one of the best movies of all time, Mother. Now, have you seen Mother?
No.
No? It's in the Criterion Collection, for Christ's sake. That's how you know it's a fucking banger. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I think it was his passion project because he made The Muse after that, and it wasn't nearly as good. Yeah, Brooks, fantastic. But how you see Howie Mandel? He knew that curly hair was fucking him up. He shaved it off, and now he's much better. He's no longer miserable.
All right.
So,
You have appeased the curly-haired gods. We
yes,
can now move on.
go, Brooks. Now, before we get to the third film here, Eric, every episode we give Eric a 2-minute movie review where he enlightens us with his opinions and brings us usually something new and fascinating and interesting that may even get you tingly. Eric, what do you have lined up for us in this episode?
Well, I have to admit, I kind of panicked because I hadn't been to the movies in a couple of weeks, and I was like, God damn it, I haven't watched any new movies. So I watched three movies in rapid succession. So I'm going to give them to you all right now. There's a movie called Together from 2021 starring Sharon Horgan and James McAvoy. In my opinion, James McAvoy is one of the best living actors today. It's about a bickering couple that are sort of forced to spend the COVID lockdown together, and they both want out of the relationship. This movie has amazing naturalistic performances by McAvoy and Sharon Horgan. It's three people all in one house. The whole movie takes place there. It is an incredible movie. It's emotional. It's funny. James McAvoy and Sharon Horgan are hilarious together. It's a movie. If you want to study pacing in a film, like as an actor, watch this movie Together from 2021, directed by Stephen Daldry. Then I watched Highest to Lowest by Spike Lee, the new Denzel Washington movie starring Jeffrey Wright and Ilfenesh Hydra.
Yep.
It's based on the movie High and Low by Akira Kurosawa, and it's about a guy whose chauffeur's son is kidnapped, and the chauffeur has to ask this high-powered record executive to front the ransom to get his son back. And it's the original Japanese version is fucking fantastic. I don't know what the fuck was going on in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep it brief because I don't like really shitting on movies that much.
Mm-hmm.
But the acting just felt like everybody was just fucking around. Like they were just like goofing off. Like even Denzel, greatest actor of all time.
Yep.
I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? The music choices were all weird, and stylistically, Spike Lee's style, his expressionistic style, didn't really work for this particular film. I love Spike Lee, but like sometimes he's a real miss, you know. He Got Game, for example, terrible movie, but Denzel's great in it. Last but not least, there's a movie I saw called Which Brings Me to You, a movie starring Nat Wolff and Lucy Hale, who seems to be like a veteran of these kind of romantic comedy movies. She's very fun, very charming. She's like kind of like an off-brand Mila Kunis, but she totally works in these movies. It's about two people that have sex at a wedding and then spend the rest of the day just talking about all their relationships that they've ever had and all the fucked up things they've done in those relationships. The leads are likable. It gets kind of dark in certain places of the movie, but it's a great premise, and I really liked watching these two people fall in love. I don't know if you know this about me, but maybe after horror films, romantic comedies might be my favorite genre. I go gaga for these things, and I loved it. So it's called Which Brings Me to You.
Those are a trio of films that sound relatively interesting. And you're right, Spike Lee is hit or miss. Sometimes he's too much up his own ass, but when he's on, he's on. This is one of the occasions, obviously, where he is not on. Now, before we get into Halloween 3, I do want to say one other thing. I want to take back my Air Supply comment. Fuck him. Gene Wilder is the curly-haired man that I look up to. So, sorry, Air Supply guy, go fuck yourself.
He's danced alone 1,000 times.
Is that an Air Supply song?
Yeah, it's from Mannequin 2. The songs that no one else could even hear.
Oh shit, I did not know that.
You're not up on your Mannequin lore. That's your problem.
No, I know making love out of nothing at all, which sounds like a guy alone in his bedroom.
No, I don't want to know what he's making. Leave it in the oven, bro.
Oh yeah, your whole turkey in the oven thing again.
Halloween. The Festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children.
So, we go from Halloween 1 and 2, and both making tons of money, and they go, hey, Carpenter, we want Halloween 3. And he decides to throw a curveball here and make Season of the Witch with Tom fucking Atkins. Now, if you're going to make a movie and you need that quality stamp, you need that Atkins. Don't you agree, Tom Atkins? You can't get better?
Oh, you can get much better, but Tom Atkins, he's fun to watch. Kind of bland.
Even naked?
Even naked, especially naked. He
Yeah,
looks
he's,
like,
he's bland naked.
He's like an actor who, if you tell him what to do as a director, he'll do it.
Yep.
And he just seems like a really affable guy. It's just like, hey, Tom, go stand over there. Put your fists in the air and look like you're tormented. He does it, and you're like, good, cut. That's it. We got it. Let's go.
Yeah, and he's
reliable.
got that.
He looks reliable.
He is reliable. And he can pull off a mustache. A lot of guys can't pull off a mustache. Ever since that 70s porn stash thing started, people avoided just having a mustache. But Atkins, he's got it. He's got it so good, he can have a mustache, and he still is idolized by billions.
Billions, you say?
That's why I'd wager that. Because
Name 7 people that idolize Tom Atkins.
Oh well, my next
See,
door
you can't do
my
it.
next door neighbor Frank, he loves Tom Atkins. He has a
Thought you hated your
T-shirt.
next door neighbor.
No, that was a different one. Then down the street, Jacob, he tells me all the time, "Oh, hey, you catch that new Atkins movie?" And I said, "Which one?" "Oh, Night of the Creeps." "Oh yeah, I just saw it." See, so they're everywhere. You talk to a handful of people, 80% love Atkins. So I answered.
Okay.
So I proved you wrong. So Season of the Witch is a much different film. we we start. You wanted proof. I gave you proof.
I got it. No, I got it. I got it.
Now-
Halloween 3, 1982.
Yeah, 82. Good year.
This was a hit movie.
It's great. It's wonderful. It's
Well,
got that
it was-
cool song.
$2.5 million against a $14.4 million profit. This
Amazing.
movie made a lot of money. I don't understand why everybody has poo-pooed it for all these years.
Yeah, they wanted Myers because they loved Myers. This is the problem. Like even in the marketing, I think they said it's the night nobody came home. I think it's the
Yeah.
tagline. People still said, "Wait, hold on a second." So Myers is getting his revenge here, killing everybody. Where it was not a trick, but they weren't overly honest about it because they wanted it to be a hit. They wanted that Michael Myers traffic. So realistically, how many people do you think were repeat viewers of this and word of mouth vice the people that went to go see it because they thought Michael Myers was going to be in it again?
You're probably right. I mean, they all thought it was going to be Michael Myers, but I think if it was just a movie in and of itself, it would have been fine. You know what I mean?
agree.
Like, it would have been a really good movie if it was just called, well, I guess you can't call it Halloween, but if you just called it Season of the Witch, even though there's really no witches in it,
Yeah.
or something to that effect. The trick was the 3 of the Halloween 3 was supposed to be the 3 masks. These are the Halloween 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I would feel pretty cheated. But at the same time, again, aren't you sick of seeing the same goddamn thing? I guess not, because, Friday the 13th was like, this was 1983 or 1982, so they were 3 movies in at this point.
Oh, yeah. And people like it. It's a guilty pleasure that people aren't so guilty about. They fucking love talking about it. But this one, it wasn't like John Carpenter said, I'm going to just quick rush some bullshit. This is a very cool, unique film. And there is witches in it. You have the witch mask. But also, the base of the film is witchcraft, isn't it? Isn't that what these guys are doing? The whole, like, cult thing at the end?
It's not a cult. It's pagan, it's like ancient Celtic pagan belief. They say Tom Atkins calls it's witchcraft, right? And he's just like,
Yeah.
which I like. I don't feel like explaining it.
Well, it's a cool line, and it's delivered quite well. Tom Atkins, like, I know you said, like, Midland or whatever you said about the greatest man of all time. Whatever they give him, he fucking nails. And including his love interest, who was much younger. I want to say her name was Ellie in the film, if I'm not mistaken.
Ellie Grimbridge by Stacey Nelkin.
Yeah, because she makes the move on him in the hotel room.
Holy fuck, yeah.
She wants that Atkins.
Tom Atkins is getting ass from all directions in this movie. There's one nurse he's playing grab ass with,
That's
like
right,
in the
yes.
hallway.
That's
There's
right.
another the coroner who just like randomly kisses him, and it's just like, man, John Carpenter thinks Tom Atkins can just like pull ass down from the heavens.
Well, you have to understand, like there is charisma. Like there was a time when Telly Savalas was the most beautiful man or the sexiest man alive, according to like People magazine. It's not always the look; it's the how you carry yourself. I tell you, man, Atkins, I bet you he could pull down all that ass. It's just who he is. He had all that fucking confidence, and people saw that, man.
He had a very natural alcoholic swagger to him for sure.
He did. He
Um,
did. And you could have that. You could have. This was a time where you could just say, "Hey, I'm a man. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna play grab ass. I'm going to a hotel with a bunch of chicks, and I'm Tom Atkins." And that's why they got the 14 million bucks. I bet.
every man in America is going around. I'm Tom fucking Atkins, asshole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm grabbing this nurse's ass. Can we talk about like one of my favorite characters in this, and that's Walter, the gas station attendant.
Oh, awesome, awesome stuff there
The
for
guy
sure.
played by Essex Smith, he sort of bookends this movie. Ellie's father runs into him like trying to escape the henchmen of Conal Cochran, and
Yep.
this guy brings him to the hospital. And at a certain point, it's just like, "Can I get out of here?" He starts like like getting really scared for no reason. He's got this look on his face like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here because I know some shit's about to happen."
Yes.
Like, I love this actor. He stands out so much in my mind. He's so good.
He
He's
is
just like,
good.
look, he was like that when I found him. Okay, can I leave now? Do you need me for anything? And he's like, no. Okay, bye. And just like
Oh my God.
almost runs out of the hospital. I
Love
love characters like that. They just sort of like the horror movie characters who are just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. All you crazy white people. It's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting involved. Fuck you. I'm out. But you get Ellie. Her dad is killed, crushed, completely fucked up, and now she believes Cochran, who runs a factory, is somehow tied into it. So Atkins, out of the kindness of his heart, is going to help her investigate, and ends up going to the town that's owned by Cochran and investigating the factory. And they have robots, and I like robots. I don't know if I told you that. You have a robot factory. Now, what do you think about Cochran and his army of robots?
I think it's dope as fuck. What a wild swing from a random serial killer movie to a guy who has an army of robots going around basically assassinating people.
Yeah.
Ellie's father is killed by a deviated septum. The guy sets himself on fire and blows himself up, and you're like, holy shit! Like, what the fuck is going on? This is kind of where I noticed, like, because I just watched Psycho as well. A lot of the same story beats from Psycho are in this movie. Like something happens to a loved one, so two people pose as a married couple to check into a hotel to
Yes.
see if the person's name is on the ledger, and there's a big building in the distance that is very mysterious and holds a secret to it.
Yep.
And there's even a fake out where an old woman is not what she seems.
Yeah,
You
which is
know?
cool scene. Very cool scene.
Yeah, awesome scene. This movie to me is a classic. This movie is so fucking good, and one of like the biggest reason, even more than Tom Atkins, my man, is Dan O'Herlihy, who plays Conal Cochran.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
one of
Yes.
the best villains in cinema history. I love this guy. He's like a toy maker, and he's the one making these 3 Halloween masks that everyone's buying all over. He just plays this like really genial like businessman who's just going around, like telling everyone everything's great. I'm so happy everyone's here. You're our top salesman, and don't worry, I'll give you everything for free. His performance is so fucking iconic.
It is.
That it's one of my favorite villain performances in any movie. What do you
so
think of
good.
Dan O'Herlihy as Conal Cochran?
I love it. He's so good. It's such a cool character. And you're right. He's a fake. He is evil. He wants to do this mass sacrifice, and he care less about sales. He especially doesn't like that annoying shithead family. He's using them as guinea pigs. I love the fact that he is this evil guy, and money isn't enough for him. He wants power. And that's such a cool thing because when you get so wealthy, sometimes you lean into power because you have enough money now, you have to find some other thing that will satisfy you. So he's got that going for him. The fact that what he wants is to make masks that are going to kill all these kids in this like huge sacrifice. Wonderful stuff, wonderful villain, and the army of robots are so fantastic. It's so cool. Like I'm on board 100% with the army of robots. And I'll tell you another thing that's super unpopular, but I don't think it's altogether bad. Michael Myers being connected and being a robot. I like that idea a little bit. I don't hate it. Do you absolutely
Why?
hate it?
Yeah. Why? He's a guy in a mask. What? Okay. Why does everyone want to complicate this story? It's a dude in a mask running
But
around, killing people, especially teenagers.
yep.
Like, don't overcomplicate it. Everyone loves the original because it's not complicated. You know?
It's not, but it's a testimony to the love of the original. That people are saying, hey, okay, he's a killer going around and killing babysitters and whatnot. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. Hey, maybe he's a robot, maybe he's part of the Thorn cult. It's all good. It's fun to sit around and
No,
no,
no.
yes.
Incorrect. Like your opinion is just as valid as anyone else's, and it's just as wrong. It doesn't make any sense for him to be a robot. It's a guy in a mask. Like, did you notice how in the mid '90s,
Mhm.
Freddy Krueger,
Yep.
Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers had these really elaborate stories where, Freddy's got kids and Jason's
Yeah.
got a sister, and like fucking Michael Myers, I guess, bangs his niece and has a kid or something like that. It's just
Yeah.
like, did you ever notice how like those are like the three worst of their respective series? Have you noticed that?
The '90s, especially with Jason and Freddy, they did them dry. I'll say that, but I will say, well, I think Resurrection was in the 2000s, wasn't it?
2002, I think.
All right.
That's the found footage one, the reality TV
Yeah,
show
that's
one.
that's when they brought it back and brought
Yeah,
it
the
back.
one where Busta Rhymes, where he beats up Michael Myers with really shitty kung fu. That's the one you're referring to?
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to because
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
it
Yeah,
was it was good. Well, anyway, the
we'll get
the
to
the,
that one.
the robot Michael Myers. I like that theory. Obviously, it's probably better him being just a guy, a evil guy that's part of the Thorn cult that we agree is good. But I like the idea of trying to rope it all together and say, hey, maybe there is connections because he makes masks. Michael Myers wears a mask. He makes robots. Maybe Michael Myers is a fucking robot. That's why he can't get killed. It's fun just to talk about. I don't know why you're so afraid just to talk about it. What's your problem?
I've done I've done my own research on this. I think that this movie for me works so well because there's a lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue to it. And the fact that it is, I mean, I think I would be really pissed off if I went to go see it and Michael Myers wasn't in it in 1982.
Sure.
But I love this movie now. It's one of my favorite Halloween movies.
Same.
It has to do with Dan O'Hurley, and again, Dean Cundey shot this movie as well.
Yep.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Connell Cochran has this incredible monologue, which is one of my favorite monologues in movie history, about the origins of Halloween and trick-or-treating and all this jazz, and how they used to sacrifice animals and children, when the planets aligned or whatever.
Yes.
And you said that he was seeking power, and I don't know how true that is, if like he really just likes really good practical jokes and he wants to sacrifice these children to like the gods or something. And one of the things I love about him is like you're never really quite sure why he's doing it.
Yep.
And you think he is like thousands of years old? Because he does mention, he goes, we used to do this thousands of years ago. Do you think he's thousands of years old?
I never really thought of that he was. I mean, it's fun to talk about, as I said, but I just assumed he was referring to whatever lineage he had, that this is maybe where he came from, that it's what his ancestors had done. But it's possible, considering, I mean, he is mysterious and he is highly skilled and he's wise. It could be because of all the years of existence leading to this wisdom. So So maybe, but you're right about the monologue and having Atkins tied to the chair and then eventually putting the mask on Atkins. It's just a gift after a gift after a gift in this movie. This movie is the gift that keeps on giving because every scene is notable.
Yes.
This is a masterpiece. So the plan is kill all the kids, do this huge global sacrifice. Also, Atkins, you wanted to stick your fucking nose in it, you're gonna get it too. So put some mask on Atkins. Atkins now has to escape, and you know you can't keep a good Atkins down. He escapes, and he needs to stop the commercial that's gonna activate these masks and kill all the kids, leading to maybe the best ending next to Pieces in horror history. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. If you watch this movie and you don't appreciate movies like this, it has a definite like B movie feel. But like building up to that ending where his kids have masks
Yes,
and
yes,
and if when the commercial plays it the mask activates and it melts their heads and bugs and snakes and shit come out of it. And one of the best fucking horror scenes ever when
yes.
little Buddy gets it in the like during the commercial and the stakes that his children are there and he's a terrible father and he's like trying to rescue his kids that hate him. Like
Yep.
what an amazing ending. It's him calling the broadcast company, telling them turn off the channel, and they turn off two of them. And then I guess this was before cable,
Yep.
where there's only three channels, and he's got the national broadcast on the phone, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" Like that is like an amazing scene.
Oh my
Um,
god.
it is so good. Tom Atkins outshines even himself in that moment. What an incredible ending to this movie. This movie could not have ended any other way.
No, I
What do you
agree.
think?
The ending is one of my favorite endings of all time. I fucking love what they did. Atkins knocks it out of the park. The guy is I think he's an American. He's an American treasure. And if he's not an American, he's a fill in the blank treasure. This
Tom Atkins
guy,
is all American, baby.
all American. He's an American treasure. Then this guy is so good. I know you said he's plain Jane and all that stuff. In my opinion,
He's not plain Jane. He's not going to shock you. He's not going to give you anything surprising. He'll do what he's there to do, and he's you know what he is? He's serviceable. He's a very serviceable actor. He'll give you exactly what you need.
obviously he fits. He's not like going to be the most versatile actor in the world, but what he brings, like his A game, is an A game in this tough guy, reliable guy you want to cover your back in a fight, and also he's a lady pleaser. That he nails all of it. And the ending of this film, where he's the hero but he's lost. He's lost to this cult. It's such a good ending. I'm glad they didn't leave it on a happy note. This whole stop it, stop it, stop it! Fucking wonderful shit. What a movie. If you had any negative thing to say about this movie, outside of Atkins being naked, what would it be, Eric?
I understand it's not the greatest movie of all time. I get that. I
Mm-hmm.
know like it's got problems, but I can't find fault in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's again artistically, it's done on such a level that let me just give a shout out to Tommy Lee Wallace,
Yes,
who directed
yeah.
this.
The writer too.
He
He wrote part
he
of it. I think.
edited the first movie and was like a production designer or something. Like the artistry on there's one long take in there. I don't know if you caught it, but it's when they first come into the downstairs factory and you know all the television screens and like Stonehenge is in there. The
Yes.
shot goes from 1 hour and 4 minutes and 29 seconds to 1 hour 6 minutes and 37 seconds. It's a big jib shot and it goes here and it goes there and all the actors are like doing really interesting shit. Dan O'Hurley is just like owning this role.
Yes.
And it's just one of those scenes where it's like, you know, the people are doing things in the background and it's such a complicated shot. The movie doesn't need it, but because Dean Cundy's shooting it, it fucking has it. And
Yes.
Connell Cochran, one of the best villains. Like I said, I understand it's not a perfect movie
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a great movie, but I can't find any fault with it because I love it so much. Watch it. It's on Peacock right now. Put it in your Halloween classics. It is just fucking incredible. every person I show it to hates it, but I fucking love this movie so much.
Yes.
What fault could you find other than like all these women grab assing Tom Atkins?
I don't believe that's a fault at all. I think it's a perfect movie too. I think that it is definitely underrated. It's misunderstood. I like movies about evil cults and powerful guys. This mixes it in with this very unique idea of like his robot army is cool. Usually you think robots, you don't think like sinister. You can think, with a purpose like Terminator, but that's not. These things are satanic that go around doing his bidding. It's crazy stuff and it's awesome. There's mystery, there's the cult, you got the one of the greatest villains as you said, one of the coolest ideas and like I said in the last one, when the kids are in trouble, this is every kid around the globe that has access to a TV and celebrates Halloween. This is a crazy thing, crazy movie, beginning to end. It's a must watch. I understand why people don't like it because they come in thinking it's part of the series when it's kind of an offshoot. Loved it. Yeah, one of my favorites. I watch it more than the other Halloweens. I can't find much fault with it from start to finish. Great film and Atkins. What a wonderful gift from start to finish. And like you said, he could have covered up his ass a little bit in this. We didn't need to see Atkins' ass, but maybe you didn't say that, but you should have.
I didn't. I wasn't thinking about his ass. I was going to ask you about his bulge, but we can skip the bulge conversation for one episode, I suppose. What did you think of the effects in this movie? The pulling off the head of the homeless guy and the ripping out the guts of one of the robots.
Oh God, loved it. Loved it. I was disappointed that Ellie was a robot or was replaced with a robot. Now you know Atkins, he ain't gonna get none that night. You don't want a robot hand jerking you off, it'll rip your dick off. So
I thought that was what you were all about. That's what you've been talking about the past couple episodes.
that was 82. We're fucking in 2025 when they got gentle hands now.
I hate to tell you though,
Uh-huh.
I think those feminine robot thingies, I think that's not real. I think that's AI slop.
Really?
I looked it up. I looked it up. Yeah, it's a hoax. It's not real.
So am I gonna get my money back for my pre-order?
I hope so, buddy. One more question.
Yeah.
Do you think everything that happened in this movie was all part of Conal Cochran's plan? Because there's a lot of times when they could have caught Atkins and they don't. They're watching him walk around the factory and watching him go around. And was Conal Cochran being killed and all of his robots people being killed all part of the plan? Maybe it happened a little bit sooner than they wanted because it happens before the commercial airs. But do you think the whole thing with what was going on, him escaping, him getting Ellie, him coming down and killing everybody, do you think it was part of the plan? Because he does applaud him at the end.
Maybe so. Maybe he wanted to have a little bit of a challenge, and maybe he wanted to cut the loose end that Ellie was. I like that. Like I said, it's fun to talk about.
Was Ellie the replacement for that grandmother robot that he broke?
Oh.
Because he goes, I'm going to need to find a replacement for this.
That's right. So, but no chance of Ellie being a robot from Jump, though.
No.
Because
you think after he punched through her, so to speak, he would have noticed.
Yeah, you would think. If you fuck a robot, you should know. The 3 movies, Halloween 1 through 3, the original 3, how would you rank them in order, Eric? And would you recommend a binge watch of all 3 on a Halloween night for those that have not seen these?
I surprised myself because normally I would go 3, 2, 1, but after watching it this time, I'm going to say 2 is the weakest, but I mean it's a strong weakest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Then 3 second, and of course the GOAT, Halloween 1, wins out in the end. It's just too good.
Yep.
The other 2, I mean, they're operating sort of on a flawed premise in a way, but they're just as fantastic. I would say watch all 3 Halloween movies, but I would suggest watching them 3 in maybe the late afternoon one in like going into the early evening into night,
Yep.
and then I watched 2 around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Do you know what was your ranking, and how would you suggest they watch them?
My ranking's the same. I would watch them in order, and I would start at around 7 p.m. Watch the first one,
Mm.
watch the second one, and then at like 11 o'clock at night, shut off the lights and watch Season of the Witch. You can't go wrong. These are 3 great films, masterpieces. Like the second one is, like you said, it's strong, but it's the weakest of the bunch. But man, these are fun films. They got scares. They got a definite feel to them, and they're all rewarding. They're. I watched 3 the most, but no doubt the first one is the best. It's just the third one just has that watchability or rewatchability. When I sit down, I'm like, I want to watch something. I'm like, huh, Halloween 3 with Atkins. I'm gonna watch that because it's fun.
And it feels like Halloween. It like really, those movies are really good at feeling like Halloween. The third one plays around with sort of like the corporatization of Halloween and how like materialism and consumerism is involved. All 3 of them have that Halloween feel to them.
They really do. Actually, Carpenter's entire you watch a Carpenter movie, you know you're watching one because it just does have that quality to it. It just has a feel, kind of like John Hughes, where you know what you're watching. You know who did it because they bring the same thing, the same feel. And these films, the Carpenter specials, have it. So anyway, that's our Halloween episode. Eric, any tricks or treats for our listeners?
I would just say happy Halloween, guys. Relax, enjoy the season, put on a big comfy sweater, put on some horror movies, and put out the lights. Geno, what would you say to them?
I would say definitely I'm giving you all treats. Have some pumpkin bread, have a nice coffee, wear your sweater, watch your horror films, enjoy the changing leaves. Just watch some horror films and go out for a walk, get that nice fall air in your chest, and then come back and sit down and watch some horror films. Enjoy it because the fall goes away too quick. It's the shortest season. Enjoy it while it lasts.
And remember, I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart.
Please stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Stop it. 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 Stop it.